Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. James here. And today we're going to be talking about how my life has changed since I quit video games. Now, some of you might already know that I first quit gaming around about 6 years ago. And since then, it's been a pretty rocky road. I've had moments where I've hit rock bottom, playing 32 hours in one session, suicidal, depressed, stressed every day, and dropping out of university. And I've had moments where I felt on top of the world, like when I was on a 3-week expedition in Canada, and it was the most transformational experience of my life. And since then, I've gone on to shift my mindset about gaming and learn about why I really get addicted to them. And as a result, I've quit gaming for the last time, and I am never going back. I have no cravings, no urge to play. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll tell you a bit more about that process, about how I've gone from falling in and out of relapsing and addiction to games to living an incredible life, free of video games, and really making the best life that I can. So how has my life changed since I quit gaming? Well, I'm going to break this video down to 3 parts. That is the mental side of things, the physical side of things, and the emotional. Because I think that encompasses pretty much everything that you can cover in a human being. And some of these have been more important than others, specifically the mental side of things. And some of them have been a bit more unexpected, like the emotional side. And starting with the mental side, I'm the kind of person that has struggled with discipline my entire life. Like, I was playing video games in school, and I was a smart kid, but because I was able to get away with doing the bare minimum, I could spend all my time playing video games and doing homework late, not studying, and pretty much just doing what I wanted. And I never developed discipline. This carried on through university, where I would stay up until 3 a.m. playing video games every single night, only to fill in the coursework due for the next day about 6 hours before the deadline. And I would hastily get a few hours sleep at the end, come back after giving it in, and pass out and crash for the entire day, only to repeat the process every single day for the first year of university. And even now, when I hit 24, 25, and I came out here to Thailand to start my own business, I still struggled with discipline. I had one of the worst periods of my life earlier this year where I failed to meet a client's expectations, and I thought everything was going to go completely wrong and I'd have to move back home to England, which with everything going on right now probably isn't an ideal solution. So what changed? Well, once I started shifting my focus from myself being the problem and stopped seeing myself as an obstacle and started seeing it as games causing these issues, I realized that I was in complete control of what I wanted to do, where I spent my time. And for the first time ever, I had clarity. And that's the most important thing that I got out of quitting gaming. Every single day that I wake up, I am determined, I'm focused, I'm energetic, motivated, passionate. I've got a clear vision of where I want to be in 6 months, a year, 3 years. And these are things that I thought I had in the past. I've had periods of motivation, and these usually lasted a few months. I would start a new project and quickly get disheartened by it, only to fall back into the cycle of video games and depression. And this is how I lived my life for 6 years. This endless cycle of 3 months on, 3 months off. And it wasn't until I experienced this moment of true clarity, of true passion, true discipline of 8 to 10 hours every single day of non-stop work that I enjoy. It wasn't until that point that I realized what I'd been missing out on. And it was that fundamental shift in my mindset that really brought that on. And like I said, I'll go through that a bit more later on in the video. The other main mental aspect that I got out of quitting video games is enjoyment. And I mentioned that I'm like waking up with determination and passion. But where I was lacking in the past was taking up new hobbies. And I would never enjoy them. Whether it was something like guitar, learning a language, or coding, or art and graphic design, I would never enjoy the process of them. I'd never enjoy starting out. I hate being a beginner because things come so naturally to me in the past. I would get so annoyed if I couldn't grasp something straight away. And quitting gaming and shifting my mindset in this way really helped me to love the process of starting again, starting as a beginner. And the perfect example of this is me learning Thai. Now, that's how I'm living in Thailand. I've got an education visa to study here, and it's been an incredible experience for me. But it wasn't until a month or so ago that I actually really enjoyed it. And I didn't study. I'm still a bad student, or at least I was. But now I'm practicing every day and I'm enjoying learning languages, and I'm finally making progress in something I've been wanting to do for years. Now, when I first quit gaming, I didn't know I'd be living in Thailand, but I always wanted to do languages. And I had half-hearted attempts to learn German and Japanese and Chinese and whatever else. But now with this focused effort, this new clarity that I have in my life, learning languages and playing the guitar and doing all these other things that I wanted to do forever, they've become so easy because I genuinely enjoy doing them. And that is a huge change from what I used to be like in the past, with no enjoyment, no passion, and no motivation to improve in any aspect of my life. And now moving on to the physical side of things, this is something I've always struggled with, mostly a consistency problem. Like I would be struggling to be consistent with my gym routine, my health, all that stuff. But now that I have this renewed sense of clarity and focus and mission, it's allowed me to divert some of my energy into the necessary areas of my physical health. And for me, this includes going to the gym every morning at 7 a.m., eating a healthy diet of whole foods, having an active sex life, which is incredibly important, especially for men and your mental health and your well-being. And finally, skincare, surprisingly. It's something I neglected in the past when I was in university, because what kind of student, especially a 20-year-old guy, cares about his skin? You just slap on some body wash and put it on your face, wash your hair with a 2-in-1 thing, and you're good to go. But I was always spotty, I was always breaking out, I always had a red face and pale skin, and just wasn't good. But they're the main things that I've been focusing on. And while I've done them in the past, I've had moments of healthy eating and physical exercise. Not until I was able to truly break free from this addiction, because that's what it really was. It was an addiction that was poisoning me. It was poisoning my body, my system, my health, every aspect of my life it could get its hands on. It would invade and go through the cracks, almost like water going through a desert or a rocky mountain, like downhill. It's like seeping into every part of my life and my well-being. And until I could rid myself of those toxins, I was getting nowhere. But now I barely even recognize who I was. The difference is I keep going on about it, and it's like an advert for myself. It's like, I don't know, man. It's been revolutionary, and it's affected. Sorry, I'm slurring my words so much. It's affected every aspect of my life, but the physical transformation has been noticeable. Like genuinely noticeable. Whereas the mental, you don't really see it until you reflect on it later. The physical side of things have been arguably the most important from a self-confidence, self-esteem standpoint, because I'm able to be happy with who I am and who I'm becoming. And that's really an important part, is that long-term vision of where you want to be, of who you want to become, and acting on it every single day. And quitting gaming allowed me to have the time and the energy to do that, where in the past I would give up and I'd do a half-hearted attempt for a week or two at a new diet or a new routine or something, and it collapsed pretty quickly. And the last area that I want to cover is the emotional side of quitting gaming. This isn't something that you really internalize until you do some solid self-reflection, but when you're playing video games and you're addicted to them, you have a lot of emotions that become a part of your character that you don't realize are being caused by video games. When I was gaming every day for hours on end, I would become angry at the slightest things. Like, everything annoyed me. Even if it was someone I loved, like a girlfriend or a family member, I would get so angry so easily and just tell them to get away from me because I just wanted to play my games. And I would be bitter, resentful. I'd be a lot more internally focused. Like, I wouldn't give as much to other people freely. I wouldn't give value to other people. I was very selfish. And these emotions manifested in me for years without me realizing, because when you're in an addiction, you don't realize that the addiction is causing these problems. It's the same way that a drinker doesn't realize that alcohol is causing his problems, or smoker or gambler or whatever else. It's the same with any addiction. Your brain has convinced you that this addiction, this substance, is what you need to thrive, and it will do everything it can to convince you that this is the way forward. That's why we get cravings, that's why we get withdrawals. It's your brain telling you, you need this. You can't live without this thing, whether it's gaming or smoking or drinking or drugs or gambling or blah, 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 whatever else. You need it. When in reality, obviously, you don't. You don't need video games to live. You don't need to smoke cigarettes to live. It's it's just your brain's way of convincing you that you do. And once you escape from the virtual world, the world of video games and non-stop playing, it's like you're lifting a veil from your soul, from your brain, from your mind, whatever you want to call it. It's like you're able to see things and reflect on things in an entirely new way. And that's what I was able to do with this. From a purely emotional standpoint, not even including my relationships and love, I was able to see these emotions for what they really were, realize that gaming was the cause of them, and then see how truly amazing my life is without this substance in it, without this poison, this disease. Because gaming is officially a disease. People don't seem to realize that as being classed, like gaming disorder is technically a disease. And until you can take that time away from gaming and really see the damage that gets caused in your relationships, your love life, your personal life, until you can see that, you can never truly get away from them. You'll always have a part of you that wants to go back. And as I said, now I have no cravings to return. There's no desire, no doubt in my mind. Like, I am 100% certain that I will not return to gaming anytime soon. And that's all come about because of that mindset shift I told you about right at the start. And if you skip forward to this point, go back and watch the video and come back here. And because I'm going to share with you like what I've done recently to completely transform my relationship with gaming, to go from constant relapses and cravings to a life of abundance and discipline and passion, energy, motivation, limitless love and gratitude. And, it's amazing. And it all started by truly understanding what gaming was, truly understanding the psychology behind my addiction, and then learning to let go of all of the beliefs, all of the conditioning that I've been accepting of gaming, or that I've come to accept of gaming from people in my life, my friends, the industry, all this stuff, and just putting it in the past and moving on. I didn't do a detox this time. I didn't like break up with gaming. I didn't have a final day where I would do all the gaming that I wanted, free of worry, free of sin, and then the next day I would quit. It just happened effortlessly. I didn't delete any games. I still have games on my laptop somewhere. I came across one the other day, one that I used to play all the time, Faster Than Light. I just saw it on my documents, like I was trying to find something, came across this folder, and I could have double-clicked, opened Faster Than Light, and be playing within a few minutes. But I didn't feel anything. This is a game I'd spent hundreds of hours on, that I was completely addicted to back in the past. And I just saw it, shrugged my shoulders, deleted it, and moved on to find the file and carry on working. And if you're really serious about moving on from video games and creating this incredible life and quitting gaming without willpower, without motivation, without cravings, first thing, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be putting out a ton of content around this, detailing exactly what I've done, because I can't put it in one video. I physically can't. It would be like 4 hours long, and I can see my battery is about to die. So that's just not an option. Secondly, go to the link below, description, and book a call with me, and I can run you through, it's just an hour long, I'll run you through everything I've done to build this clarity, this mission, these principles, this, like, all the mindset that I have built up over the years, and I can distill it to you in one free, like it's completely free. It's not going to be free forever. Take this opportunity while you can to get as much information, as much value as you can from this as possible. Book a call, and I can't wait to talk to you. If you've already done that, if you haven't, go do it, because it will really change your life. If you can internalize these principles, I guarantee you will never look at gaming again, and you'll wonder why the hell you played video games in the first place. But as always, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.